Hey, hello. I'm Tunesy. If you couldn't tell by the channel name, of course. Oh my goodness, guys. Today's day freaking 45. Can y'all believe that? We're literally halfway there. Like 5 more days and this series is done. It's over with. Oh my god, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We're so freaking close. We're so freaking close to the end. I could feel it. That's freaking crazy. And we're in the V's. So that's even crazier. Today's state is Vermont. Freaking Mont. I think that's somewhere where Maine's at and everything. So don't know much about Vermont. Never really heard anything from it. And yeah, today's song of the day is "Wicked" by Korn and Chino Moreno, aka the lead singer of Deftones. W Chino. I love Chino. I think I'm gonna name one of my children after Chino, if of course, my wife agrees. Um, and yeah, the genre is new metal and rap metal. And yeah, um, that's really it for today. Don't really got anything else to say. Don't feel like yapping a lot today. And yeah, let's get started. Rephrasing myself, today's state is Vermont. Today's day 45. Little um I know it's not really necessary, but it's whatever, guys. God dang it. If you don't like this part, just skip it. Um but yeah, 5 more days till this series is freaking over. Yeah. Yeah. Um, and yeah, today's crime scene is about the murder of Rita Curran. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Curran. Rita Curran. Anyways, in the summer of 1971, Rita Curran had just moved out of her parents' home for the first time to live in an apartment in Burlington, Vermont, on Brooks Avenue, with 3 other roommates whom she did not know well. Curran was a second-grade school teacher. She had started graduate courses at University of Vermont, while also working during the summer months as a maid at a local motel. In the early morning hours of July 20th, 1971, a roommate arrived in the apartment and found Curran's dead body. Burlington policemen arrived and determined that the victim had been beaten, sexually assaulted, and asphyxiated. They also found evidence that Curran had fiercely resisted her attacker, putting up a vicious struggle. Police officers collected evidence from the crime scene that included a single cigarette butt found near her arm. They interviewed the apartment's neighbors and investigated hundreds of tips. Among the people questioned were a couple who lived in an apartment 2 floors above Curran's at the time of the murder. The husband, William D. Roos, who had a criminal record, stated that he was in the apartment with his wife all night and they had not heard or seen anything. A statement confirmed by his wife, Michelle D. Roos. Eventually, the police were unable to identify a suspect. The location of the motel where Curran worked was adjacent to Ted Bundy's birthplace, the Elizabeth Lund home for unwed mothers. Similarities to known Bundy crimes scenes led John Bassett to propose him as a suspect. Curran's sister wrote to Bundy while he was being held on Florida's death row to inquire whether he was responsible for Curran's death. In response, the FBI informed her that Bundy had declined to confirm or deny his culpability. No evidence firmly placed Bundy in a Burlington on that date, although municipal records note that a person named Bundy was bitten by a dog that week. Robert D. Keppel questioned Bundy, who said he murdered a young woman in Burlington when he was there in 1971 to obtain information about his birth. On January 22nd, 1989, the eve of his execution, Bundy denied to William Hagmeyer any involvement in the Curran case. In 2014, the Burlington Police Department sent for DNA analysis all the evidence collected at the crime scene, including the cigarette butt. According to John Murad, the department never stopped seeking justice for the victims' families. While the test did compile a DNA profile of the person who did smoke the cigarette, it did not match any DNA in databases compiled by law enforcement agencies across the country, possibly because the person did not have a felony conviction. In 2019, a new team of detectives picked up the case. James Trebe decided the police would treat the crime as if it was just been committed and brought in a team of detectives and expert technicians to review and discuss it. The team began retesting evidence and set the cigarette butt for DNA analysis using genetic genealogy. An outside genetic genealogy expert then concluded that the cigarette DNA had strong connection to relatives of William D. Roos on both his paternal and maternal sides. Investigators found a living half brother of D. Roos who willingly provided a DNA sample, and his sample bolstered the conclusion that the cigarette DNA belonged to D. Roos. Finally, the DNA left on Curran's ripped housecoat also matched the DNA on the cigarette butt. As the police found out, DeRoos and his wife had left Vermont soon after the murder and separated. At some point in time, DeRoos moved to Thailand, where he became a Buddhist monk. Interviewed once, again by the police, DeRoos' ex-wife, who had moved to Eugene, Oregon, and changed her name, told investigators that she lied about her husband being with her all night in her apartment. Thomas Shennett, who interviewed her, said he did not believe she knew her husband had killed Curran, but was protecting him because they were newly married and obviously in love, and he had a criminal record. It was established that D. Roos had gotten into an argument with his wife on the evening of July 20th and gone out for a walk to cool it off. The next day, he told his wife of 2 weeks to tell the police investigating Curran's death that he had never left their apartment, warning her that his past criminal record would unfairly make him a suspect in her death. Burlington detectives also interviewed a San Francisco woman who had married D. Roos in 1974. She told them he had a penchant for sudden outbursts of violence. There were at least 2 instances where he was violent around her, she said. One being when the couple was talking with a female friend and he took out a pocket knife, stabbing the woman in her abdomen for no reason whatsoever. He was arrested, but the woman did not press charges. At another time, she said, the two of them were having dinner when he suddenly started to strangle her without an apparent reason, at which point she left. DeRoos died in 1986 at age 46 as a result of drug overdose while staying at a San Francisco hotel. That's the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. This one's crazy. So it was technically the neighbor the whole time. They interviewed him the first time and they didn't suspect a thing. They couldn't run like his DNA or anything to see if he was a criminal or not because he had charges against him. So I guess not felony, but he still had charges. Um, Honestly, in my opinion, no, actually, I can't say that because I have been saying you can't make a suspect out of somebody unless if you have a lot of evidence. So you know what? Never mind. Um, but yeah, that's it in today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow's day 46. That means 4 more days until the series is over. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Yeah. Bye.